let me see if I can scoot that back because I'm going to do it exactly how I would do it. Price is above that level. So I will place a trade here. What am I targeting? I can target up here, or I can go to the higher time frame. Let's go back. The higher time, it kind of messed it up because I skipped, but this will be my next target. Sorry about that. Sorry that it messed up on a higher time frame because it already did it, but we're going to go back to the smaller. But yeah, going back to the smaller, and that's how I would do it. Waiting for that New York volume to help push in. Boom, we got a new high indication. So as well, this will be our high. I seen price come in here too. Oh, that's pretty much it. I seen price come in right here with a little pullback as well. That could have been an indication. Let's look on the 1 minute. Yep, price pulled up, gave you an indication, pulled back, and then continue higher. So you could have played it like that too. And then we're gonna keep going. Price giving you a high, pull back. It's cool, retesting this level. That's cool with us. As long as it's not breaking our lows, we're good. I promise you, you're good. And then continue higher. And then overall, hitting our target. And remember, we're still in this trade here, but TradingView made us come all the way up here. But we're still in that trade. A target hit for us. Boom, another trade successful. And I'm doing this literally step by step of how we're doing. Right? So another trade hit successful. Boom. That's cool. Now, let's go back. Let's see if we can go back. All right, let's go back. Boom. Our target hit. So in this moment, I'm like, okay, now I can close my trade because this was that high that we was overall targeting. Now I'm going to wait for another setup because our setup is done. Now let's look at the ratio of what our trade was. We entered down here. We had our stop loss below the lows. It's like roughly below the lows. And then we ended up closing our trade all the way up here. Right? So this was a 1 to 10 trade off the higher time frame. This is on NAS. So you was risking $50 to make, let's say, $500, $600, $700, depending on the lot size you put. But you ended up making 538 points, and then it can still be counted if you're holding partials. All right. So then after that happens, we're gonna delete all of this. All right, we're gonna delete this. Right, so now in my head, let's just delete that. Now in my head, I'm like, okay, price has a new high in the market. I'm gonna be okay with price selling. I just know back above this level, price can push up to that level. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. So boom, price above this level. Let's go look at what session we're in. Yep, we're in a New York session, so we could get a possible push up. We just don't want price breaking our lows. So this will be our lows. We don't want price breaking our lows. So honestly, I would say let's take a position here during a New York session and above here, right? So above here. And I'm looking for the same reaction to push up all the way up to here. New York session closed, but we ended up hitting our target once again. So boom, this would have been what our trade looked like. Probably would have been using less of a risk, to be honest, because there's probably some lows here. But let's say this was a 1 to 3 trade setup. Let's zoom in so you can see how we broke that down. I got an eye for it, so I can pretty much see it from there, but let's just do it here of what it would look like. All right, so coming into New York session, we had this high, and then we had this low. New York session came in, boom, made a high, made a higher low, pushed higher above these. So this is already telling me that above this area, so above here, we can push up to here. Boom, boom. So my trade would have came from roughly here when price was making its way back above here. And I would have kept my stop loss below here and then overall targeting up here. So yeah, like I said, it was a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 trade. You can tell by risk to reward ratio of what your trade is. This is 3.95, meaning it will never show you the 1, but it will show you your reward. So this is meaning 1 to 3 risk to reward. This will tell you how many points you have too as well. So this was a 200-point trade on NAS, and you're just risking $400 to make around $200, $300, right? But with that being said, New York session is opening up. When our target got hit, New York session was opening up. So we're gonna see if price wants to push higher. Boom, we get a push higher than a New York session. The reason why we didn't want to close is because, one, we hit our target before New York session was finna kick off. So let's go back. So roughly around here, we hit our target when New York session just opened. So to be honest, we could have kept a stop loss below here, trailed our stop loss below roughly here, because this is a low and we don't want to see price break lows. Could have trailed that stop loss there. We would have still been good in points, but overall we just kept holding just because the new New York session came and we was looking for to see if that trade wants to continue. Now we have a new high in the market. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so you can see the candles. We have a new high in the market. Honestly, we can go for this now. But with this new high, we can take, it's up to you of whenever you want to close your trade. This is highly up to you. Whenever you want to close your trade, you already hit your target. You're getting more points above the board, above here. So this is all what you want to do, personal preference, what you want to do. Price continues higher, making a new high, right? And then boom, after making this new high, yes, let's take note of this. After making that new high, price ends up selling hard. And that's cool because we know when price has a new high, it will make a low for us. It just can't keep going straight up. So this is when, like I said, this is wherever you want to take your positions at. Honestly, let's say I would have closed at the end of the day. Most of the time, if I'm pretty up off of a trade, I would most likely say close at the end of the day. If if it's at a new high or something at the end of the day, because some days do end crazy greens and some days end up crazy reds, something like dropping all day, and then it ends off dropping and never going back up for that day. Or some days it'll just go up, end of the close, and then it'll, so you can always close at the end of the day. But in certain moves, like at this end of the day, we didn't hit our target, but the next day we did. So it's something like, it's some trades where it's really how you feel on if you want to hold or not, because like how I'm telling you how to trade, it's going to be putting you in the best positions ever. So it's like really up to you if you want to close with how much money you have, or if you want to gain a little bit more, but it's all up to you. So let's say we close our trade around this level right here. And now we're going to be looking for another setup.